All right, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about everything in the world of professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring. We talk about backstage curtain calls, drama, and rumors. We talk about WWE, AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, you name it. We talk about superstar inactive statuses, injury updates as well, contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings from all these promotions. So make sure you guys tune into to this awesome wrestling podcast that we have every Monday through Friday on the GSMC Sports Network at 8 p.m., 11 p.m. Eastern Time. I was just kind of reflect on what we talked about right quick. We had our WWE Friday Night SmackDown review. All in all, I thought it was pretty great. I thought it was a good episode. And now we're going to dive into this preview that is WWE Monday Night Raw. I know a lot of you guys already have watched this and you guys are like, oh my God, where's the proximity to this? But, I have not watched it yet. Maybe there's some people who haven't watched it yet and they're watching this preview and they're like, you know what? It is what it is. Sometimes you gotta, pre-record stuff to watch it. Sometimes you're at work, you don't get to see it. So then when you dive into it, you love being surprised and you love the unpredictability of WWE or professional wrestling for that matter. Kind of like I do. But before we get into our Monday Night Raw talk, we're going to talk about something important. It's the super chat, guys. I want to hear from you guys, whether if you got a burning question or a hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling, or just something you've been dying to get off your chest here at the GSMC Sports Network. We are all ears 1,010%, of course. Absolutely, guys. Let's keep this conversation lively. Also, let's make I just want to make sure you guys feel like your voice is part of the mix. It's easy for me to just come up here and talk about wrestling, just yell at you guys for like an hour. For me, it's fun, but it'd be a lot more funner with a lot of audience engagement. Definitely love hearing you guys' opinions, because at the end of the day, we put on these podcasts to please who? The audience. Duh. I'm just kidding. I know. No, but that's what we multiply do. So, hit us up in the chat. Let us know, how we're doing. Let us know, give me some of your wrestling hot takes. Give me some, maybe what you did over, over Halloween weekend. Maybe you did something crazy. That's like, oh my God, maybe you dressed up as a WWE superstar. I was so close. Dressing up like the Macho Man Randy Savage until I, researched online and I saw how much everything would have cost, and I was like, bummer, dude, bummer. But yeah, guys, don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really, really, really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed on air, why not use that super chat? It's that $sign below the chat box. Anything that you guys put inside that box is going to be is guaranteed to be featured and talked about on this show. If something really juicy, definitely could be debated about. Definitely could be, take place as one of the segments that I have here. Definitely love hearing from you guys. Definitely want to make sure that you guys feel like this is ultimately our wrestling show, as opposed to just like this guy who comes on 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, talking about wrestling on the GSMC Sports Network. Just want to, just be part of the mix, guys. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys. So thank you in advance. Thank you to absolutely everyone who joins the GSMC, who enjoys the GSMC Sports Network daily, who watches it. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep this conversation going. Let's keep this party going, and make sure you send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, super chat, not your thing. It's all good. Hit up the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Just remember to absolutely Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network here, the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010%. So, make sure you guys do it. And of course, if you feel shy, if you disagree with me, it happens. In terms of talking sports, criticisms, sometimes, we don't see eye to eye, and it's okay. Hit it up in the chat box. Tell me however you feel. And, at the end of the day, feedback from you guys is an absolute gift. So don't be shy and drop your thoughts inside that chat. All right, so let's go and talk about some WWE Monday Night Raw. It's awesome. It's going to be great at the Muhammad Abdo Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We are expecting the WWE Women's World Champion Liv Morgan and the Crown Jewel Champion to appear. Something that's kind of funny. Not funny, but it's kind of messed up. The belts are going to stay in Saudi Arabia, and these people these winners, Cody Rhodes and Liv Morgan, they just get like a Super Bowl ring. At the end of the day, it's cool and all, but for me, I'd rather have a Lombardi trophy like hanging up in my trophy case. You know what I mean? Like having these rings and the way that these belts have been portrayed through WWE within the last couple of weeks, how you've had two guys carrying it out like a weapon of mass destruction, how it has to be handled with care, how it's like the most precious gem on the face of the planet. Not being able to kind of take it home, it kind of suck. It would kind of suck, but it is what it is. It should be interesting to find out who's going to challenge her for her World Women's Championship, especially with Rhea Ripley out. She's expected to be out from anywhere from 4 weeks to 4 months. It's crazy. She just came back from that elbow injury. Like I said, it was a spot back in NXT Halloween Havoc. I'm not too sure if this is if they're trying to play kayfabe or not. Maybe something's actually wrong with Rhea Ripley. Maybe that elbow is acting up again, but she's not expected to come back until at least I've read reports that maybe she comes back on the first episode of on Netflix, or maybe she comes back in February at the Royal Rumble. But as of right now, it just doesn't look good, especially with her coming back, trying to build up momentum for her to become a world champion once again. And by all means, I'm not once again I'm not a Liv Morgan. I'm not a lover, I'm not a hater. But at this point in time, it's definitely the perfect chance for WWE to push Liv Morgan to make her feel like, to make her seem in terms of the WWE audience as this main event kind of player. And I feel like that's something that's kind of been like a lack thereof for quite some time. And, obviously, I don't speak on behalf of every wrestling fan out there because, I always kind of thought Liv Morgan's, matches weren't that great, but she has been getting better. That's something, obviously, you have to pay respects whenever, it's given. You also, you just have, you just have to you have to become eye to eye with sometimes with your feelings. Like for me, I'm just like, you know what? Liv Morgan's trash, this and that, the other, she came from a Hooters. She knows nothing about professional wrestling, and now the way she is inside the ring, like gotta admit I'm wrong. I thought definitely think that she's great. Definitely think that she could be a future player in terms of the women's division heading forward within the next decade, especially with this new WWE Monday Night Raw Netflix deal, which is which is expected to last 10 years. Obviously, Netflix they do have a 5-year opt in or out where they can choose to be like, yeah, we're gonna opt back in. But that would add like another, I think, 10 years to the contract. So, having a strong, stable women's division is exactly what needs to be established on Monday Night Raw. And right now, Rhea Ripley hasn't been consistently healthy. So if you put a lot of, concentration, a lot of attention on Liv Morgan, and the run she has had, and let's just make it happen. Let's just, she could definitely be a champion of the future, kind of like a Trish Stratus or like a Lita, maybe like a Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, once when Banks was in WWE. But, definitely got to throw her flowers whenever it's due. So, it's going to be interesting to find out who's going to challenge her next. My best bet would probably be, I'm not too sure how keen is Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Sonya Deville on their support of the WWE World Women's Champion, especially heading towards Survivor Series. I want to see a Survivor Series a women's War Games match. I wanted Team Liv against Team Rhea Ripley, but that's not going to happen. So now within these next couple of weeks of Raw, you're gonna have to see Liv Morgan probably establish, like a different foe. Somebody who's become another like arch nemesis. We also do have some women some superstars that are projected to come back to WWE off of injury, like Charlotte Flair. Although Charlotte Flair has been dealt with, SmackDown. I don't think she's going to come to Raw until they move to Netflix. Um, Maybe Io Sky, maybe Asuka comes back. There's a lot of possibility right now. I feel like Damage Control does deserve a little bit more of attention. Obviously, I feel like when Dakota Kai got injured, WWE kind of took a step back on promoting this young women's faction with these amazing Japanese wrestlers. And with the promotion of the WWE, independent circuit coming out, you're going to want to see a lot of these superstars kind of see that, and, it's not petty. It's not petty at all. You kind of want to ultimately promote generational talents as well as international. So when you see these independent wrestling people, watching WWE, like, hey, what? See, I can do that. I can be that person. So kind of adding Io Sky to the mix would be pretty badass. She's a former WWE Women's Champion. To see her hold both titles, not both titles, but on separate occasions, the Women's World Championship, it could be big. But I feel like right now, like I mentioned before in the last segment, Liv Morgan is kind of untouchable right now. You have Dominik Mysterio and her muscle Raquel Rodriguez. No one's gonna touch Liv Morgan right now. So basically, anybody who steps up to the plate in this, in this Survivor Series before Rhea Ripley comes back, I don't want to say is like already kind of doomed or kind of like dead to right. Like there's no way in hell they're gonna win the championship. More or less, just kind of be that spot where you could wrestle for the championship, but then you lose. But then ultimately, sometimes losing could ultimately propel you to the next step. And I feel like Io Sky's already kind of accomplished that. So that would kind of go off my table a little bit. But obviously, WWE absolutely unpredictable during the Triple H Paul Levesque era. So, just kind of thinking on behalf of it, I don't know any other woman that would kind of step it up on Monday Night Raw. But it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a great episode. I can't wait to watch it. Gunther will speak. Obviously, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion came up short against Cody Rhodes for that prestigious, that Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, the Crown Jewel Championship. Damian Priest is set to take on Seth Rollins, Sheamus, and Dominik Mysterio, number one contenders match, to find out who will take on Gunther at a date further down the line. My money's on, I feel like I would say Seth, but of course, after the way Crown Jewel ended with Bronson Reed basically, staring down Seth, being like, "Hey, dude, this isn't over. This isn't over." So I don't think it's over. I do not think it's over. To be, being brutally honest would be kind of crazy. And I know this is absolutely far fetched. This is like the biggest conspiracy theory on the GSMC Wrestling Laureate, podcasting history. What if Seth Rollins is taken out backstage by Bronson Reed? What if, he's kind of beaten the hell out of and he can't move forward with the match? And then maybe you see somebody come in and, sneak and steal their spot, and like there's obviously a couple of names that'll pop up, because I feel like Dominik Mysterio taking on Gunther is a huge freaking mistake. It might be a wild card storyline perhaps that might kind of work, but just ultimately making Gunther look, bigger, better, and stronger than ever. What if you kind of had somebody like, Jey Uso, fight Gunther, like, what I mean? Or what if you had somebody like randomly, like maybe Brock Lesnar, or maybe like Bill Goldberg comes in, he has that title shot, and he already knows who his last match is going to be in 2025. So maybe that could work out. But as of right now, I feel like the only person that makes sense on this list is Damian Priest. Damian Priest goes head to head with Gunther once more. And, it should be interesting to find out what happens with that. Will Sami Zayn apologize to Roman Reigns? Will the OTC be here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia? Because obviously last night, on Saturday, sorry, excuse me, they had Crown Jewel. So you can expect, like I said before, for them, these events are very, very like once in a lifetime. They only get to watch these things maybe, 2 to 6 times when, WWE travels to Saudi Arabia. So this show is going to, that's why I feel like it's going to be big. That's why I feel like the OTC will be here as well. So it should be cool. Dragon Lee takes on Chad Gable. The War Raiders take on the New Day. What's going on with the Judgment Day? Maybe we'll find out a little bit more in the direction of Finn Balor. Also, Bo Dallas is going to build up War Games with, taking on The Miz and the Final Testament. So that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. I can't wait to watch it. All right, guys. So, hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our third segment. We got our WWE Crown Jewel reaction. Going to give you guys some of my hardcore opinions on it. Obviously, let me know how you guys feel like inside the chat. So, grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here. And yeah, just do not go anywhere.